Guys, welcome to the weirdest webinar you have ever attended. Look, I've got some bad news to some of you guys that use these webinars for entertainment purposes. This is for those guys that want to get results, because we're going to get down through the chase exactly right now. We're not going to waste any time. I'm not going to tell you this crazy story how I used to walk dogs, and one day I was walking somebody's dog and a light hit me and I came up with this 13 markets move formula. Guys, none of this crazy drama stuff. Here's the real deal. If you know what to look for in the market and when to trade heavy and when to trade light, you're going to get incredible results. So I'm going to show you the results that you can get, because I have gotten those results not just once, not just twice, day in and day out. You just got to know specifically which days to take the action, and I've got the solution. I'm going to show you specifically how you're going to be able to do that. But first, take a look at what is possible with trading weekly options, and then decide if you want to learn the formula that's going to allow you to do this. Hey guys, and in this video I'm going to show you how to turn $3,000 into $25K in just 48 hours. Right now I own these VIX contracts. Okay, they're 25, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna buy some more just ahead of this interest rate decision by the Fed. We're actually gonna go buy these 28. Yeah, we're gonna buy these 28 contracts. All right, 27 times 50. That's gonna get it done. All right, 27. About 27 of these 28 calls that expire in 3 days. So initial spike followed by a sell-off. So as you can see, after the rate announcement, the futures went higher. Now they're dropping. And so as these futures are beginning to drop, we should see a very fast spike in the VIX right here. So watch this. They're dropping. This thing is going to go to the moon right now. And from 3,000, we should be able to hit 10K pretty quick here. Watch this. So there's the futures. They're shutting down. Initial spike higher, followed by a shutdown in the futures. VIX is going to go to the moon right now. Watch this as the sale proceeds. There it is. Big sell-off. All right, let's roll, VIX. Let's go to the moon. We're ready for you. Check what's going on. Buy some VIX calls. Buy them now. VIX, VIX, VIX calls. Buy a few hundred of them. Buy anything. Buy in the money. 22, 23, 24 strike. Buy them right now. This week expiration. Yes, this week, buy this week, right now. Sean, hey, I needed to adjust your sell orders. It looks like here's a bigger drop in the making. So the first target on BKNG instead of 1730 is going to be 1705. So your 1760 puts would be worth easily $55 by then, more likely 65. So sell 5 of those, or how many of those do you have now? 19. So sell 9 at 65 and keep the other order at $100 on the other ones, the other 10. Yeah, well that's fine. Just you don't want to sell now. There's a bigger drop in the making. The idea is this: once BKNG drops below 1750, you will see a very fast unwind. What's happening right now, there's about a 1,000-point drop in the making. It's going to be all over the news later this afternoon. So you don't want to be getting out. And the main thing is, once that drop takes place, there's probably a further drop tomorrow. Okay, so what I want you to do, your 1780 puts, don't even worry about those. How many of those do you have? Okay, all right, so you didn't add all the way at the top when it was around 1,800? You did some? Okay, all right, yeah, we should have done more. I just didn't want you to get completely scared and freaked out, and that's I said 3, Okay, so anyways, yeah, what you want to do is just the 1780s, I mean, they could be worth $150 tomorrow, so we're not going to worry about those because they're in the money. And the idea is to target the move now. That's going to be, this is the beginning of the move, right? And so if the move persists with a drop, then there should be a follow-through on the move lower tomorrow as well. So we're targeting 2 days. So basically we want to stick, all right, so there it is. BKNG is breaking below 1750. And it should make a pretty crazy move lower, possibly all the way to the 1700 level, or at least 1720 within the matter of the next 20 minutes. it's got no support level under 1750. And at this point, it tried to visit this level of support so many times, like 3 times in the last 3-4 months. And generally, as you can see, they're fighting it, right? There's your support level of 1750. They're fighting it. But in the event when the stock revisits the support level the 3rd time, the probability it'll actually break through this time is much greater than the previous 2 times. And as you can see, here it is. The stock keeps falling. Expecting a sharp move lower, literally in the next 15-20 minutes here. And once that sharp move comes, right, because VIX actually measures the speed of change, the rate of change. And so once the acceleration of the sell-off picks up in the next 15-20 minutes, we should see the VIX literally spike right here. So right now it's at 24. It's kind of slowly moving, right? But you'll see a huge spike in the VIX, like 26, 27. All right, so Dow Jones, okay, actually spiked higher all the way to 24,000 after the interest rate around. So we had this big spike, and then it started selling off. So right now, this is roughly a 400-point drop from the high. And we're expecting that to actually accelerate. There is a chance that Dow Jones will actually, in the next hour, 44 minutes, will end up under 23,000. Now, there is actually an 80% probability it'll stop at 23.2, but it may not stop there this time. It may actually drop all the way down below 23, which would be another 700-point drop. Okay, so as you can see, the account is going slightly higher. We were, what, at 3,300, now at 57, 5,800. VIX is spiking. Now, to my surprise, well, there it is, finally. Okay, 26.44. So I've been waiting for it to break above this area, right? Now, the cool thing about the VIX is opposed to like a stock, it has the ability within a very short amount of time to go significantly higher because it works based off the rate of change. So basically, the faster the drop in some of these stocks and indices, the faster the spike in the VIX. And a lot of times, VIX, unlike a stock, it has the ability to move to the magnitude of 50 to 100% in one day. So in other words, we can't expect Amazon to move 100% in one day, because that would literally mean for Amazon to go from $1,500 to $3,000 in one day. But in terms of the VIX, it has a history, not every day clearly, but in certain instances to make crazy moves where the rate of change is so fast and so quick and so high to where it could actually hit levels of 50, 60 in a very short amount of time. Okay, guys, today's December 20th, 9:42 a.m. So the market's actually hesitant on the second day down, so they actually try to stage a rally. And honestly, observing this move probably kicked out a lot of traders out of their short positions. To review our position from yesterday, as you remember, we're buying VIX when it was dropping. So VIX is hitting all-time highs in relation to the last 30, 40 days. Okay, guys, I'm actually looking to sell some of the VIX contracts. Okay, so I sold some more VIX calls. Okay, I'm going to sell the rest of the VIX calls. I hate to do that because I think it's a great position, but I mean, what I really want to do is buy BKNG puts. Okay, guys, moving on. Day 2, December 20th, trade number 2. Trade number 2, we were buying BKNG puts. For those of you who don't know, BKNG, it's Priceline. So we're actually making money on the fall of Priceline shares. Okay, so their strike price were bought. Now, a lot of times, just to give you a little insight, I like to buy various strikes. Of course, clearly, the closer to the money or in the money is going to have the higher probability. Sometimes, however, in the environment of the rising VIX, it really does pay to buy out of the money puts. And as you can see in this videos right here, I'm buying these puts and they're way out of the money. And I want to be 100% absolutely clear that buying puts out of the money is absolutely nuts and crazy unless you understand the underlying conditions under which such trades are supposed to be placed. In our courses, we go a little bit more intensively into explaining to you what is the difference in environment where you should buy options out of the money and we should buy options in the money and absolutely stick to those conditions. Here's the BKNG trade taken on December 20th.
Ministry
BKNG
says reaffirms its sovereign right to admit and reject the entry of foreigners to its territory.
buy the 1710 if we can buy it at $9. So buy 2 of these BKNG puts.
Alpha Papa Lima. Alpha says it's disappointed by the German court verdict and plans to appeal. Says iPhone versus.
Come on, sell it to me.
Says iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max, iPhone XR.
Oh, they don't want to sell it to me. Damn.
Available in all our stores in Germany. That's Alpha Papa Lima, Quebec Charlie Oscar Michael.
They don't want to sell it to me. Hey guys, as you can see, I was trying to put an order to buy 1710 strike, 2 puts on BKNG, but I was getting a little frustrated because I just couldn't get a good fill. So what I ended up doing is I ended up moving the strike price just a little bit lower, and I ended up buying the 1707 and a half puts for the same price I was trying to buy the 1710s. I don't like when situations like that happen, but when I still think the trade is good, I would rather get in at just a little bit lower strike than completely missing out on the trade. I'm just going to go ahead and buy 7 of these BKNG 1670 puts. I'm going to pay $3 for them. I just want to buy them. I want to own them. And let's go. All right, done. I bought them. 1670 puts, BKNG. It's currently trading at 1730. Basically, it expired tomorrow, so I'm calculating a drop of more than $60. Okay, guys, here's the deal. VIX is at a crucial point, okay? This has actually been the resistance level for VIX for the last few months, 2790, 2780. If it breaks out, then we're definitely heading for at least 1,000, 2,000 point drop in the next 24 to 48 hours. Let's see what's going to happen to the VIX. It's kind of a crucial historic moment here. We've been recommending a lot of our VIP subscribers for the last couple of months to load up on this VIX calls. And so clearly, for those of you who don't know, VIX actually goes higher when the markets drop. So I've got S&P 500 here. As you can see, it's unwinding. You've got NASDAQ that's unwinding. You've got VIX that's actually just crossed the 28. Very crucial point, the question if it's going to sustain. If it is going to sustain it, this is going to shoot up literally above 30 literally in minutes here. So let's see what happens. Now, our account in the meantime went from, what, 33 or $4 grand to, what, 95 right now. So what we're waiting for is for BKNG to drop. And I'm on all the stocks. It's actually dropping a little bit slower than the rest. So we'll see what happens next year. It's an interesting moment because it looks like as the markets are hitting the lows for the day, VIX, even though it's at the high of the day, is struggling to go higher. So that could actually tell us that this is the bottom right here for the day. I certainly hope it's not, because for my options to produce, we still need BKNG to drop quite further from here, maybe at least another 40, 50 bucks. Okay, guys, quick follow-up. So VIX is finally breaking above the level of 28, which is super important. So now we're at 29.78. With the rate of change that's happening right now, it could easily hit 35, 40 by tomorrow. Right now, it's 211 on Thursday, the 20th of December. So we actually expected this move since this morning, this bigger move. A lot of stocks like BKNG, as you can see, they've been trading sideways. They've been showing signs of a rebound, but there's no such thing as a rebound right now in the markets. It's a crazy bear market. So basically, as you can see, we got a few contracts of BKNG early, and this is just a good example to show you don't have to have a ton of those. So the count now is at 17, and we only got about 11 contracts here on BKNG. All right, so just on 7 contracts, we're making $6,500, and on 2 contracts, we're making 42. So we'll see how far that should go. Our target on BKNG is 1650, 1620 level, and so we ideally want to hold this fruit tomorrow. So our goal, of course, is to hit 25 plus. That'll give us the ability to actually get in and out of the trades. So with the day trading account, we can certainly take the account much further. But right now, we don't have any availability on the day trades, so we really need to get this number above 25. Make sure we're ready to rock and roll tomorrow when the market is making all kinds of crazy moves. We'll follow up in a little bit, guys. Thanks. All right, so here it is. From 17K, we're down to 10K.
PFE, SNY.
We couldn't close the position, right, because, we would have had a day trade that would have blocked the account and so on. So, I'm filming this, guys, as the real deal, as if somebody was really just trying to start with a few thousand and take their account to 25K plus. So I'm trying to film this with the real limitations, right? Which a lot of people don't have if they have a day trading account. So, I mean, this is for those of you that want to make it from nothing to everything. And so here it is, finishing at 9K. Could have finished at 17, but couldn't close the positions because of the day trading deal, right? So it is what it is. Tomorrow's another day. We've got our calculations down. Could have been a way better day, but we're still up for the day. About 3 times more than what we started with. So, however, it's not a good result considering the kind of conditions the market has been providing us with today. Tomorrow, we're going to take another shot at it. We're going to prevail. We're going to conquer this market. We're going to take over it. We're going to win. Hey guys, December 21st, the market just opened. We still got a position right here in BKNG. So these options expired today. So we're calculating that they will drop at some point. They're not doing too good right now, clearly. BKNG is trying to spike higher. But it does not mean that they're not going to revisit the level from yesterday of 1685. And if they do, we think there's a high probability to actually drop below that. So all we can do right now is just be patient.
President Trump to meet Senate Republicans at the White House at 10:30 over government shutdown. That's from a Washington Post reporter.
Okay, so a quick follow-up. It's 11:28 a.m. on a Friday. So what's going on with our BKNG? All right, so here's the BKNG position. Okay, so the 2 contracts that we're buying yesterday at 1707.5 put. So those 2 are making 6,200. The 7 puts right here are making 56. As you can see, we're actually making more on 2 than we're making on 7 right here. So that goes back to the saying that sometimes less is more, meaning that they're closer in the money when we're buying them, making more than the ones that are out of the money. Now, all of that could be changed if the stock continues the drop. So very important observation. So at this point, we're at 15. Still got ways to go to hit the 25K plus. We've got 4 hours, 30 minutes till the market close. All right, so the market is briefly bounced, and what we don't want to do is we don't want to miss the opportunity to get out and buy the options back at a better price. Okay, so we're going to sell the 7 contracts that we've got here at $9, 9.2. Hopefully we can get a fill on that. Okay, so we're buying them for 3, so that's over 300% return on that trade, and we're buying these 2 contracts at 9, and so we're actually going to sell them at 37, so that's closer to 400% here. Okay, doesn't want to execute. Let's see when. No, there it is. The execution. So sold to at 38. Remember, we're buying at 9, selling at 38. Okay, so that's what we've got available. 13.8. 36, and we got 4 hours and 31 minutes remaining in this trading session. So we're going to try to target an opportunity that will allow us to take advantage. So in other words, nothing changed in our strategy. We're shorting the bounces. It just, we want to catch this bounce. So if BKNG starts bouncing back to this level of 1680, 1690, we want to get back in the same trade, but we're going to be able to do it at a much better cost.
Now here's the result of the trade. Okay, the result of the trade, we invested about $5,200 in it, and we cashed out roughly about $14,000. Again, we actually took that trade the same day from $5,200 all the way to $17,000. But because of the day trading limitation, we could not close the position out. We had to remain in the position. From 17, the account dropped to 9, and the following day, finally, we were able to sell that position at 4, which was actually a bad decision. But considering the rise in VIX environment, that trade still made sense. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. So with that being said, here's trade number 3. Day 3, trade number 3, December 21st, 2018. Again, another trade on buying BKNG puts. Various strikes, observing the market conditions, the charts, and all the other stuff that was going on. We were buying 28 puts, 28 contracts of BKNG 1650 strikes that was actually expiring today. Now, after executing that trade, after it went through, we still had a little bit of money remaining, so we ended up buying 1 put to illustrate specifically of how you could actually trade with small amount and still realize pretty good gains. So on that one put, as you can see, we invested $290 in it. Later in the day, we sold it for $69, and so we basically made $400 within 2 hours on just this little leftover in the account. Now the main money was made, of course, with this 28 contracts right here. The timing of the sale was actually crucial and important because you'll see we've been tempted to jump out of the trade many times. Okay, so trade number 3 results. We took roughly $14,000 to $59,150 in 3 hours. Now here's some of the trades, because I know some of you just like, oh, that's too good to be true, whatever. Okay, so actually here's all the stuff that did take place. Okay, guys, so this is December 21st. I've actually was able to take a good snapshot of all the order fills that were taken today on December 21st. So the green area actually represents the purchases and the red represents the sales. So as you can see, the position we opened yesterday, right, the 2 BKNG 1707.5 puts, we were buying them for 9, we were selling them for 37. We were buying these 7 contracts yesterday at $3, which were 1670 puts, and we were selling them at 9.2. So after we got the credit for cashing these out, what I did is I bought 10 contracts, 1650 puts at 4.5, and we bought 18 at 5, and then we bought 1 contract at 2.9. 1640. So as you can see, the 1640 we sell it. All right, very important. You can clearly see the timing of this trade. So right, we're getting out of this trade at 11:30, 11:31. We were buying this at 11:41, 11:43, and 11:57 a.m. We sold the last trade that we took at 11:57 in less than 4 hours at like 15:17, which was 3:17 in the afternoon. That literally was 43 minutes before the market closed. And as you can see here in the green area, we're buying it at 2.9, and then we're selling it at 6.9 right here. Now these contracts we were buying on average between 4.5 and 5, so for an average of about 475 a contract. We sold 14 of them, and you can see the execution prices right here: 16.5, 1704, 1691, 1687. Okay, so those are the fills on these orders right here, which is kind of odd because generally they're just exact amount, but I think these got executed when BKNG actually made that sharp drop, and I think somebody put like a market order, so that's where they got filled. This does not happen very often, but you can clearly see, right? So this is where we were buying them, 4.5, 5. We're selling them in the range roughly at about 17 is when we were getting out. 16.5, 1704 was the highest one. So about 1675. So that's about a 400% gain, roughly. Now the other ones, we're waiting all the way through the end of the day. As you can see, these right here, they were executed when? Look at the time frame, right? So 12/21/18. Look, 15:51. So these were literally sold 9 minutes before the market closed. Okay, and for those of you that may be new to trading weekly options, these contracts, if they're in the money, they will actually have value all the way till 4 p.m. on a Friday. We were actually selling these at 24.50, so that's more like a 500% gain on these. And again, when we were buying them, we were buying these at 11:57. We were selling them less than 4 hours later at 15:51, which is 3:51. Okay, so buying them at 11:57 a.m., selling them 3 hours and 54 minutes later at between 4 and 500% profit. Check it out. The videos are going to show you the rest. Enjoy.
Okay, so actually would have been better if I didn't get out of the trade. Situations like that are going to take place, but what we're going to do is just going to buy these 1650 puts at 4.8. I hope we can get a fill at that price. 4.8, 4.5. Let's see if we can do that. 25 of these. This is going to be the trade of the day right here. Boom. Okay, so we got 10. We need to get some more. So we're going to try to buy 18 at 4.2.
MRIN, Marin Software, Michael Romeo, India, November, hitting new highs now 988.
Have to step it up and try to pay $5 for these. Okay, done. All right, so we've got 28 BKNG puts that are expiring in 4 hours, basically. close these out at 20, that'll put us at 50K. That's going to be the goal. In other words, we're calculating another 30-point drop here. We'll find out how good was our calculation on this trade in the next 4 hours here, because these options do expire shortly in the next 4 hours. Okay, guys, so for those of you working with smaller accounts, trying to figure out, well, how do we, take a small amount into a larger amount? Well, here it is. We're going to show you how to utilize just one option, and we'll show you the results by the end of this video. Basically, there's $301 that we could utilize. Actually, we had an order sitting here, so we'd have to cancel out of this one to put the money back in there. Surprisingly, nobody was filling that order in. Pretty crazy. Okay, so here's what we want to do, okay? We want to buy these 1645. We want to buy this one put, and we want to see if we can get a fill on it at 2.9. So the order may not get executed right away. As you can see, there's spreads. Big spreads are not necessarily bad. They're just telling you that everyone is expecting a big move. So, but I don't want to buy at the ask. What I want to do is I want to kind of put this order in the middle. And so if we do get execution, then should be good to go. All right, so here's what we got. 2.9, they're asking 3.6. We'll keep the order open, see if they'll give us a fill here. Now, I mean, clearly, the other thing we can do is we can just lower our strike to 1640. But I don't want to do that. Like, I want to, I think there's a good chance we're going to break through below 1645 level. But I don't want to just, jump in and pay more for this strike price. Well, at this point, it doesn't look like this order going to get executed. Looks like they're wanting more and more for these. Now we'll give it a few minutes, right? Because sometimes when you put the order in, sometimes it'll get executed right away. Clearly, any order will get executed right away if you pay the ask price. I mean, we don't want to do that. That's exactly what we're trying to avoid. So let's see if we can get a fill here ultimately in the next few minutes. Let's check it out. Now, clearly, if the stock goes up, $4 or $5, then we should be able to get a fill, no problem. Certainly don't want to do that. I mean, we don't want the stock to keep going higher. We're expecting a further drop from here. Yeah, but it is moving higher, so our chance of actually getting a fill here, they're pretty good. I think we're getting pretty close to getting a fill here. All right, while we're waiting on this order to get executed, let's see what else is going on with the market. Okay, so Amazon is bouncing, VIX is falling. Yeah, under these conditions, I mean, we should have no problem getting this order filled. So I'm not sure why no one's selling it to us. It could be just a matter of minutes before somebody realizes, oh, hold on, we're maybe not falling any lower from here. We're maybe going higher. I don't think that order is going to get executed because the market is briefly turning slightly lower again. So now they want it 3.9 for this. So here's what we'll have to do. We'll just have to get out of this. At this point, we'll have to, if you really want to get this execution done, we really got to go with maybe a different strike. So let's see if we can get just a bit lower, 2.9. I mean, I don't want to do that, but let's see if we can get into this trade. Because I'd rather be in this trade rather than not being in this trade. And so sometimes, you're going to get excellent executions and you'll be able to get some really cool fills. But at times, it's just not going to work. So cancel out. We're going to try to get into something else. Okay. So far, it's just not been working on the fill side. 25, we're back to these. The spreads are high, which is good. A lot of times I talk to traders who are like, oh, the spreads are so big. Well, you want the spreads to be big. That means there's something going on in the market. Everyone is expecting bigger than larger moves. A lot of times it'll happen with like biotechnology stocks, right? Dude, I mean, we can buy 1637. Clear. Okay, we should be able to get this one right now at 2.9. So 2.9. 2.9. You have no problem getting that right now. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Okay, 2.9. Okay, done. Okay, so what we own is a 1640 put. We bought it for 2.9. As you can see, the bid is 1.8. The ask was 3.4. And so right now, if you look at it, like it's losing $27 on that order. But we'll see what's actually going to happen over the next 4 hours. So as you can see, the bid right now is climbing higher. The ask stays the same, but the ask should go much further, much higher, right? So as you can see, the ask is moving to 3.6. Right here, now the bid is 2.5. So ultimately, we're investing $300 in the expectation the stock is going to drop another $30. Well, it's already down 43. Okay, well, the truth is we've been shorting the stock since it was 1800, right? this week. There was a point where it bounced to 1800. That's one of the alerts we send out to our VIP subscribers to short BKNG on the bounce and was hitting 1800. So at the time, we're recommending 1780 puts. As you can see, within 48 to 72 hours, the stock is down 140 bucks. We still think it could go another 40 bucks lower, $30, $40. All right, so at this point, we're making 42 bucks. So we just invested 290, right? And within a few minutes, we're already profitable. As you can see now, for those of you that don't believe in buying stocks, options with high spreads, okay, if you got the right move, okay, you do want to get into the trade, and you're better off, if you've done your calculations, to get into the trade rather than not. So as you can see the case here, we're just buying it at 2.9. Now they're asking $4 for it, and the bid is 255. Now, when we were trying to get into it, the bid was 1.8, and the ask was 3.4. So now, look, they're bidding it up. They're asking. There's no way. Look, we're making 67 bucks. Considering it's $290 investment we just made 2 minutes ago, percentage-wise, this is actually a pretty good return, right? So overall, the account is at 18 because the 1650s were buying earlier. They're now showing a profit of 3,800. Let's make sure. Okay, so we got 28, 1950, showing 4,280 bucks profit on those. We'll do a follow-up in just a second. So see, now they're bidding more than what we're bidding on that one put, and they're asking 4.5. And this is how it actually looks on the chart. So on the chart, boom, it makes a further move lower. Amazon making another move lower. VIX is finally spiking. That's what we're waiting for. And S&P is actually, well, it's not at the lows. It's at the lows of the day. But it's about to possibly test yesterday's level of 2441, which is super important. Because if it does test 2441, this gives us pretty much a firm drop of another 20 bucks here, possibly 30. And that's exactly what we want to see. Okay, guys, so here comes the important point, okay? Now the account is over 20,000, 29.73. The question is, okay, this is where a lot of traders start getting shaky and they start getting nervous, okay, because they're like, oh my God, I got to lock in the gains. I got to lock in the gains right now. So the main thing to do is to basically not sell out your entire position, because right now, yeah, the gains are good. I mean, in 24 hours, we're up from 5K to 20K. That's not a bad gain. However, do you want to take the profits right now? And so that's where a lot of traders, they're like, man, I'd rather just jump out and do it all. If you're ever faced with the decision, should you just begin it out right now or wait? The best thing you can do is just sell half, keep half. Okay, and so we're going to be monitoring this position closely because if we see signs of any possible reversal, like there's a small possibility here once you start seeing a bunch of green bars like this, you may want to get out. You may want to sell half, but don't sell the entire thing because, the drop could resume at any point. There's plenty of, charts that are pointing to a further lower development here. So we don't want to jump out. There's clearly signs that the further drop is going to develop. So again, what's the target? It could fall to 1620, 1630. So I'm going to be closing the positions roughly when it starts falling another 15, 20 bucks. So that's our goal. So far, we're not going to overreact. We're just going to stay firm with our position. Hey guys, this is where fun begins. Okay, so we're now at 14,681. What I'd like for you to pay close attention to, right, is where the values are going to go here in the not so distant future. We still got 3 hours and 25 minutes. 3 hours, 35 minutes to go till the market close. In our calculation, BKNG is going to drop another 20, 30 bucks. So you should be able to witness this amount go from current level of 15, 16 to, as you can see, the prices are changing quite fast. Right here, 17. You should be able to witness that go clearly above 25. The importance of 25, of course, if you're day trading, you should know that that gives you the ability to get in and out of your trades whenever you want. So yesterday we had a limitation on this account because the account was. Yesterday we had a limitation because the account at one point got to 17, just right where we're at now, and then it has fallen right all the way to 9, and so we couldn't do nothing about it. So clearly, starting out with a small amount, not having the access to day trading, and getting in and out of your trades. And one way it's a limitation, on another way it's actually is a positive thing, guys. So at times you want to have the patience once you've done your calculations to stay with the position. So don't feel bad if you're starting with a small amount and you're really trying to work your way up from there. You've got to start somewhere. The most important thing that I tell the traders, I talk to some guys and they're like, well, once I save up so much and so much, I'm going to start. Guys, forget about it. Life is too short. If you want to make it in trading, please understand this. It's not necessarily the amount that you're starting with, but rather, being able to place trades. And if you're placing small trades, right, it's just, you got to get into the markets. You've got to, instead of trading with a paper account, you're better off placing trades with a small real life account, because the main difference between paper account and life account is in paper account, you have no emotions involved. Okay, and so if you have no emotions involved, you're missing the psychological aspect of trading, and if you're missing that, it's not the same thing. You're not comparing apples to apples when you trade. So my suggestion would be to start, if you can start small, you're better off starting small with real money opposed to just continuing trading with a paper account. At some point, you got to do it. You got to take action. If you don't take action with anything in life, nothing happens. Okay, that's a guarantee. So, considering we're heading into 2019 in just a few days here, if your New Year's resolution is to take your account to the moon, you need a process. And so, if you've been trying to find a process that is good for you, that could help your if you've been trying to identify what process you should be using, I'm giving you an illustration of the process I'm using. If you'd like to learn more about it, you can certainly do so by clicking the links below, where you will find information about a few courses that are mainly focused on understanding how charts work, and they focus on not just understanding how the charts work, but clearly there's plenty of courses out there. And when I was starting out, unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anything that was really helping me get a deeper understanding that goes behind the scenes here in trading. So when a typical chart course you may be looking at may just be talking about, understanding the chart, the uptrend, the downtrend, our chart courses focus on divergences. And it's not just looking at the chart that's going to help you to make a good trading decision, but understanding the divergences. The divergences on the chart is what you really need to focus on in order to predict what's about to happen. So sometimes the calculations you will do on the charts, on the divergences, they will clearly point out that a move lower is about to happen, or a move higher is about to happen. And so that's how you can get some significant traction. Oftentimes I talk to traders and they trade on the news, and oftentimes by the time you trade the news, you're really trading the past. In other words, oftentimes in the news they discuss something that has already taken place. So by the time you get into the trade, the major move has already taken place. So the only way I know how to get into the trades before the big move happens is actually trying to figure out what's going on in the charts. Okay, while I'm talking here, officially, okay, BKNG is hitting one of our target levels for the day, 1650. As you can see, it is officially, we're over 25, actually 28 now, as it's breaking down to 1649. So what we've shown you, I promise you that account was going to go up here shortly, right? So here it is, 2830 level. Look at what's happening with the VIX, right? And we've been, with our alert subscribers, we've been on a mission to make sure everyone was on this VIX trade. We started getting everybody in this VIX trade actually in August when it was 11, 12. Now the VIX is 28. But more so recently, we've been emphasizing how the charts are pointing out. The only bullish chart we were able to identify recently was the chart of gold and VIX. So if you were an alert subscriber, you're trying to figure out how to become an alert subscriber, you can do the same thing. You can just click the links below this video, get more information. Now, the second course I want to talk to you about is the 13 markets move. So clearly, there is a general misconception out there that you can just go ahead and trade every day and make money every day. Actually, that is not the way you want to do it if you want to be a day trader or a swing trader. The way you actually want to trade is to understand one very important aspect of trading, is that the market is not going to give you the same probability
to make the same amount every day. So the next logical question is this. Then how do you identify the days in which your probability of getting the trades right are higher? So if you can get an answer to that question, then you will be a lot more successful as a day trader or swing trader. The 13 Markets Move course is designed specifically to help you identify those days. So in other words, at any point in time, at any given day trading, on any given day, the market could present you with 13 moves. It's just like playing chess. And so if you know what these moves are, that's definitely going to help you. And number two aspect of the 13 Markets Move formula that's going to help you is to understand the market move sequences. So if you understand the sequence, you stand a chance to understand what are low probability days and what are high probability days. And so clearly if you can do that, I mean, that's going to be a super, I mean, that's going to really propel your account from smaller amounts to much higher amounts.
Hey guys, very important point in the trade name. We got 2 hours and 9 minutes remaining in the session. So in other words, these options are going to expire in roughly 2 hours. So right now we're looking at 19,868. The most important thing, it looks like the market is actually trending higher. However, based on my experience, I have witnessed this market where it looks like it's going higher. It is actually capable of making some very sharp moves lower. So the idea for us to make the most out of this trade is to make sure the market does make this move lower right now in the next hour, and it will break below this level of 24.35. In my calculations, if it does break below this level of 24.35, we actually stand a chance for the market to actually touch possibly 2400 level today. If that takes place, we could see BKNG shares in the next 2 hours literally plummet to the extent of $30, $40. Now notice, one of the goals that we have for the day is to clearly close the account above 25K. So we will finally have the day trading privilege. However, there's a way to do this. As you can clearly see, we got orders to close out 29 contracts. I never close out the positions all at once. And so hopefully here I'll be able to illustrate a very good concept which should be helpful to anybody that's day trading or swing trading. Okay, BKNG. All right, so we have the one put that we bought, by the way, at 2.9 earlier to demonstrate an illustration for some of you guys that may just be starting out with small amounts. So we bought it earlier for 2.9. Right now it's worth 415. So we're making 130 bucks on this one. On the other 28 contracts, we're making 98.80. Now, we were able to accomplish that within the last 2 hours since we put on this trade. Now, the most important thing, these 28 contracts, is to understand how will you actually be selling them, because clearly you got 2 hours to go. If we calculate correctly, everything, the selling is yet about to kick in. So I don't want to sell them too early, but at the same time, you're not a genie in the bottle. You're not going to be able to pick the exact point at which the stock is going to stop dropping. So what you want to do, however, is this. You want to set a limit order to close half of the position, which in this case, 14 contracts at a certain price. And you want to set the second limit order at a higher level. Since the prime goal we're pursuing is to close the account above 25K, what I'm doing is I'm setting 14 contracts. I already actually have it set, as you can see, 14 contracts to sell at a level where even if the other 14 contracts don't get sold, the account would be over 25. So currently I have a limit order sitting out there to sell 14. First target level is 17.9. Right now the contract is trading at 10.4. So we're looking for this contract to go from 10.4 to a 17.9, and then it guarantees that the account is going to be closed out before the day is over at 25K plus. Then what we're going to do is we're going to keep the other 14 contracts for further gains, and those are actually, the other 14 contracts are set to be sold at a level of 29. Now, since we only got 2 hours remaining in the session, the value of this contract will reach 29 only in the event that BKNG stock price is going to fall to a level of 16.20. Basic calculation, you'd take the strike price, which is 16.50 in this case, subtract the the stock price, which is 1620, is where we think is going to drop. Now, there is a chance it could drop actually below 1620. We're not sure 100%. So we would rather, considering there's 2 hours left in the session, we would rather target it just before it hits a level of 1620. So that's our goal, to take half of the position out at 17.9 and to take the other half of the position out at 29. Okay, guys, quick follow-up. We're still waiting for the break lower. Right now it's 2:08 p.m. on December 21st, 2018. So we're waiting for this break to actually happen by 2:16. So we're going to actually wait for 7 minutes. We have calculated that this break will come in the next 6-7 minutes. If it doesn't, we may actually consider closing the entire position, because timing is everything when you trade in options. So when certain calculations are just, it looks like they're there, but they're not 100% going your way by a certain time frame, it actually pays to completely get out. We're on the borderline here. 6-7 minutes will decide the fate of this trade. Okay, guys, BKNG just makes another low, 1643.66 for the day. We need to see some acceleration. We need to see some volume coming in here. Just to review the position, they count us at 33K. Everything's starting to move in the right direction as far as S&P. Some crucial moments right here. We may want to consider actually selling some of our position. Okay, new low for the day. Crucial. We need to see where the VIX is. Because if the VIX is not setting a new high for the day, this is where you know it's time to take some positions off the table. We're going to wait a few more minutes. Got hour 15 to the close. Okay, VIX is at 28.46. It's moving in the right direction. Small bounce right here. A decision has to be made in the next 2 or 3 minutes. And if you make the decision too soon, you'll miss out on thousands. If you make the decision too late, you can miss out on even more thousands. So, very crucial point. 2:45 p.m. Friday, December the 21st. Okay, guys, one final run at closing this position. If this breaks below, we're going to be out. In the meantime, got 53 minutes left. I'm fixing to do a quick workout, do some push-ups. While I'm doing that, I've got some limit orders set right here. So far, everything looks so good. I'll leave this running so you guys can see the action that's taking place here. Oh, there it is. The market's about to drop like a rock. Check this out. 3:11 p.m. December 21st. VIX to the moon. Let's go. S&P 500 down to earth. Watch the numbers right here. Sell order set. Ready for action. Let's roll. Let's go, VIX. 28.8 on the VIX. Big fallout is about to happen. Watch, VIX is at 29. S&P is going to hit the lows. Waiting for a big break lower fast. 20 points in 5 minutes. Let's go. Lower on S&P. Let's roll.
S&P futures dropping more now, 24.31.25.
Big break lower. Come on. There it is. New low of the day. VIX high of the day. Come on, come on. Don't stall. Let's go.
TVI
There it is.
Getting a pop here to the highs of 71.24.
Fast break lower. Come on. I don't want to miss this break lower. It's about to happen. 3:17 Friday afternoon. You're about to get a sharp move lower.
Navarro
We
says
sold one.
administration thinks Fed's 2 rate hikes in 2019 is too many.
Okay, changing it to 16.5. I think that break lower is coming right now. Okay, pay close attention right here. $10 move lower should start executing some of these orders. Let's go. Sharp move. Come on. Looking for a sharp move. Look at the VIX. 29.59 high of the day, low of the day here. We need a sharp move. I don't like this slow action. I don't like it. Come on. Don't stall. Let's go. Just a sharp move, just enough to get these orders executed. Let's go.
Tango Echo Victor Alpha announcing FDA approval. First and only digital inhaler with built-in sensors. ProAir Digihaler inhalation powder. That's Tango Echo Victor Alpha.
Come on, who cares about some FDA approval? We got market crash in action here. Come on, let's roll. I mean, we should put some music back on, huh? 39 minutes to go. Okay, guys, final stretch, 34 minutes to go. Okay, as you can see, we just sold 13 of these at 16.5. We're buying them at 4.5 early, so we're at 48, cashed out 22.4. Now, the rest of them we want to set at only 29 and just wait to a complete unfold of the day here. Basically, our earlier calculations were saying that we could fall all the way to 16.20. So I think there's still a possibility of that. So we're going to try to target that. And just hang in there for just a few more minutes. Got 33 minutes till the market close on a Friday, December 21st. Sharp drop. Come on. Still expecting a sharp drop lower. So far what we've been seeing is just some slow drops. What we want to see is a sharp drop. All right, while we're waiting on that. So the first trade that was actually executed was the trade on the lowest strike put. VIX above 30, heading in the right direction.
76 cents after that press release by
I do a little better with the music.
Certification, 76 cents now.
29 minutes to go. Closed half of the position, right? Because you never know late in the day, these bounces, they can come quickly. I don't think it's the case this time, but still, the idea is you don't want to close the entire position all at once. You want to wait, close half, then close half. So right now we've got another opportunity to close half. Probably the best time to do it. Well, you know, we still got 29 minutes to go, so I think the market could easily drop another 20 points here, and if that's the case, we'll get the best execution of our contracts. Market drops more. BKNG is probably going to hit 1620 area. 1620 area, we're going to have the execution of our contracts at 29 bucks a piece because there's 1650 strike in the money at this point. So all we need is just another $10 move lower, and we're there. 29 minutes. Considering we're in the money, we're going to wait just a little bit more. Considering the VIX is still above 30 and it's hanging in there, I don't think the pressure is completely gone off the market. I think there's still quite a bit of pressure right here. So we're just going to hang in there, wait just a few more minutes. Even though you can see clearly, like there is a spike. Like you see a lot of things is starting to bounce a little bit, but still, the risk reward is on the fact that we're going to head a little bit lower from here. Now, here was that sharp drop. Boom. We're still waiting for that drop to resume. Could be a deadly mistake, but we're in the money. Got 20 more minutes to go. VIX is at the all-time high for the day. S&P is at the all-time low for the day. In this situation, I'll take my chances. I'm going to wait for a further decline in BKNG. Volume looks good. 17 minutes to go. I'm going to finish my workout while this is going.
S&P futures off the lows at 24.90.
Okay, guys, 11 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go. Okay, getting pretty close here. Come on, just a few dollars less. Let's go. Done. Sold one. Come on. I got 14 more to sell. Okay. Done. Patience pays off. 59,188. Guys, if you want to learn how to do this, you can do this. Anyone can do this if you know where to look for. Click the button below. Study over the holidays. Get ready for an awesome 2019. Learn the chart divergences. Learn the 13 market moves. It's hours of information that could help you get an edge over these crazy markets. Hey guys, with this said, I look forward to your huge success in 2019.
Okay, so now you guys know what is possible. The only question that should be on your mind right now is how can you do the same? So I'm going to give you some really simple answers. Guys, again, trading does not have to be a rocket science unless you're trying to make things complicated. So what I have done over the years, what I've been able to accomplish is to figure out, not from any book, but specifically on my personal trading experience, trading stocks, placing thousands of trades day in and day out. I've been able to figure out, hold on, there's some really cool stuff about the chart patterns. But at the same time, I want to combine it with probabilities. So for those of you that still have the question, look, is the 13 markets move, is it some kind of magic formula? Are you just trying to pitch me something, tell me something? The answer is no. But if you know the formula and you understand how to use it when the proper action is required, guys, it does work like magic. So here it is. What is the 13 markets move formula? It's a system for day traders and swing traders that are trying to get breakthrough results. It actually combines chart patterns and probabilities all in one. A totally new approach to getting breakthrough results and discovering which days to actually trade heavy and which days not to trade and go extremely light on your positions. Can you think of all the days where you have possibly traded and take some substantial losses? Let me ask you a question. What if you could actually avoid it trading in those days? How would your account look right now? The answer to most people is their account would be substantially better. And that's what I want you to do, guys. I want you to do substantially better. Because making, a few $100, a few thousand, dozens of thousands is just not good enough. Not good enough on this world of inflation where the prices just keep rocketing on real estate and all other things. To do well, to live a nice life these days, okay, you got to make at least $1 million a year. So that's what I want you guys to think of. And how you can get to the $1 Million Club. We have some traders that recently accomplished that. And I want you to be the next person to do so. And so the 13 markets move formula, in my view, is the ultimate pathway to get there. So again, we combine the chart patterns with probabilities to help you understand on which days to trade and on which days not to trade and when to do what. So here's the 3 most important questions that any trader faces on every trading day when the market opens. Number 1 is determining the direction. Where the market going to go, higher or lower? Number 2, determine the timing. Should I take the trade right now or should I wait till 11 o'clock, till 1 o'clock, till 3:30? And number 3 is the position size. Should I buy a couple of contracts of this thing or should I maybe just go all insane and just load up and buy 50 contracts of this thing? These are the typical questions that any trader faces each day. And depending on what kind of answer you will arrive at will determine whether you will make a ton of money, just a little bit, or whether you will completely fail and lose a bunch. So these are the 3 questions that the 13 markets move formula actually provides a simple solution for, so that you can use it in your trading starting tomorrow to be generating great results. The idea is not complex at all. It's quite simple. That is why you can use this, guys, starting tomorrow. The 13 Markets Move formula, guys, will help you with some of the main challenges that any trader faces each day. I have a lot of traders reach out to me every day, and the number one problem we have identified why a trader loses money is overtraded. Do you find yourself in a situation where you take 5, 10, 20 trades a day, and on some trades you're making money, but then on some trades you just give it all back, and when you look at the account after all said and done, what happens? Oh man, it's not going any higher. Maybe just buy a little bit, or in most instances, the account is actually keeps depleting, it's losing money. The only person, guys, that makes money when you're overtrading is your broker. So they're probably hating on me right now making this video. But I don't care, guys, because I don't care about your broker getting rich. I care about you accomplishing your goals. I care about you fulfilling your life dreams. I care about you making it happen in trading every day. So the second most common thing is knowing when to buy puts or calls. When to buy them in the money or out of the money. And the 13 Markets Move formula provides a simple solution for that. The point number 3 is how to identify the next big move before it actually happens. Because most of the traders, when they reach out to me, they're like, Leonardo, what happened in the market today? Why did it fall? Or why did the market go up? Guys, that's the wrong question to ask. Okay, the only question you should be concerned yourself with is what will actually take place tomorrow. So if you can get an answer to that question, then there's no doubt in my mind that you will make money. Not just a little bit, not 10, 20 bucks, not 80 bucks, guys. Look, those profits are not even worth chasing. With the 13 Markets Move formula, you're going to be able to target high profitable opportunities that will target returns of 3, 4, 500, in instances, 1,000, 2,000%. Yes, we're talking about weekly options where this is actually possible. Now, to identify the next big move is crucial. So just focus on that question, and the 13 Markets Move formula is going to help you with that. So point number 4 is how to identify the days on which to trade and on which days to swing trade. Yes, guys, the formula is actually going to outline for you on which specific market moves you're better off day trading and on which moves you're better off swing trading. Wouldn't it be nice to know that ahead of time before you place the next trade? Guys, this simple formula is going to allow you to do that. Since 13 Markets Move formula is based on chart patterns and probabilities, guess what's going to happen? Guys, do you have any idea how many traders reach out to me every day saying, look, I took this trade and it was a good trade, but I got out because I was scared. I took this trade and, I got out because, I was taking a small loss and I wish I didn't. I wish I stayed in it. And I could have made thousands of dollars. But guess what? Emotions got on the way. So when we take the emotions completely out of the question, guess what's going to happen? Guys, you're basing your trading decisions only on chart patterns and probabilities. We basically leave no room for emotions. We place our decisions based off mathematical probabilities. Guys, this is awesome. If you can understand this, guys, for anyone watching right now, if you can just understand how powerful this is, wow, I'm extremely excited for anyone that grasps this concept at this point. So let me help you eliminate all emotional aspects of trading, which often are the main reasons why traders fail, guys. And truly, I've met some incredible people over the years of trading, and some of them have not achieved the success that they desired. It was because they were not smart. It wasn't because they were not trying to learn. It was because A, they were focusing on the wrong things, or B, they were trying to trade and they were making a lot of these trades based off the emotional decisions in the process. And look, guys, here's the simple truth. Less emotions equals better decisions. So if I can help you in the area of eliminating emotions when you're making your trading decisions, guys, I guarantee you your success is going to be inevitable. So here's the thing. You would simply be focusing in this simple formula on observing specific numerical sequence telling you when to place the trade and when to completely stay out of trading. So it will help you avoid all the psychological pressures of trading. I know it sounds simple, but it really is. And that is the only way I would know of how you would finally be able to be free as a trader and trade without fear. Trade fearlessly, guys, is what a trader truly desires. And I've got the answer to that. How does this formula actually work? Okay, on any given day, the market is going to create a certain pattern, such as this one. Take a look at this. It's a market move 1. So here you got clearly a situation where market opens at 9:30. It opens a little bit higher in the context of the previous day, and then it continues higher through the rest of the day. So it opens higher, finishes higher by 4 p.m. So that's a move 1. I know it sounds like elementary and simple, but trust me, a move like that does not happen very often unless certain VIX conditions that take in place. And the formula is going to show you specifically how to use the VIX in relation to the market moves that's going to allow you to place some very high probability decisions. Now, here's the move 2, okay? Exactly the opposite. The market actually starts higher in relation to the previous day. It actually gaps up higher. And look what happens. At 10:15 a.m., surprise, surprise, the market starts dropping and it finished substantially lower by 4 p.m. So those traders that jump out like right at 9:30, 9:31, 9:35 a.m. thinking that the market is just going to move higher as in move 1, guess what happens? They're caught off guard. By 10:15, the market drops. What happens to their call options? Maybe it has happened to you. I mean, has you gotten in maybe in the beginning of the day where things just look really green and all of a sudden things reverse and you're like, oh geez, I mean, I got to get out. Otherwise, I'm going to have a huge loss. So I've got a very simple decision on how I can help you avoid this kind of situation happening to you by understanding first what these 13 patterns are and then how to keep track of the probabilities of each pattern coming up the next day. So, but this is an example of a move too. 9:30, market opens higher and then it trends lower. Now notice it doesn't just drop in one straight line. Nothing in the market goes up in straight line, it drops in straight line. They create these patterns. So if you understand how they work, your trading is going to be very, very simple. So the 13 markets move formula assigns actually a numerical value between 1 and 13 to each pattern, just like the 2 that I've shown you. There's 13 different patterns. After a few days of writing these numbers, you will get a numerical sequence, such as this one, 2, 7, 3, 11. So now some numerical sequences will point to a high probability of what will actually take place next. So can you imagine that if you start recording these numerical sequences, then once you get a particular sequence, you're like, hold on, this sequence gives me a 90% probability of what will take place tomorrow. Wow. So can you imagine just being able to do this and completely keep your emotions out of the question and just keep track of a numerical sequence? Guys, this is a breakthrough. You don't have to turn on CNBC. You don't have to turn on Bloomberg. You just keep track of this. And when the sequence is such that gives you a probability of 65% higher, you take action and produces results. Guys, it is that simple. If you understand this, wow, I sure hope that you do. Now, here's for example, a sequence 7-4. Okay, this will actually give you a 65% probability of a move 3 on the 3rd day of the sequence. So it would be like 7-4-3. So once you observe the 7-4 sequence, it would make sense to actually start buying some puts. So 7-4 you can observe by the 2nd day of the sequence. So you'll be buying put options before 4 p.m., basically before the market closes on the 2nd day of trading, with an expectation that the market will drop. And clearly that sequence gives you a 65% probability that the market is actually going to open lower the next day. Now, because it is a 65% probability and not an 80 or 90% probability, what would make sense? You would actually trade small positions. So if your average position is maybe 10 contracts or whatever you used to trade in, maybe go a little light. So 65% probability, maybe buy 2 or 3 or 4 puts. Okay, now watch this. The next sequence is 413. For example purposes, Okay, that sequence is absolutely amazing, guys, because that sequence will give you a 90% probability of what will take place the next day. And that typically is a move one in 90% of the cases. Remember the move one I was showing you the chart, the market opens high and continues high for the rest of the day. So knowing that ahead of time, you would actually start buying calls on the second day of the sequence, knowing that the next day has a high probability of a move one. Now, here's where this is important. There's two key observations on this sequence. Number one is you don't want to just jump out in the morning and start selling your calls that you bought the previous day. Why? Because understanding what a market move one is tells you specifically that you will gain the most traction, the most momentum, and the most returns if you wait till the end of the day to sell these calls. Now, isn't that a powerful information to have when you trade in these options on short-term basis? Guys, this is absolutely incredible, okay? So 90% probability in a sequence like 413 with a sequence on the third day of being a move one. So what you do is you buy calls on the second day of the sequence, you sell them not in the morning, but at the end of the day. Very cool stuff, guys. Clearly, if you have a 65% probability, what do? You trade smaller size. If you have an 80 or 90% probability, you put on bigger positions, okay? So if you typically trade 10 contracts, then a 65% probability you take 2 or 3. On an 80, 90% probability, you may want to take 25, 30 contracts, 50 contracts. So here it is. Once you understand the intraday pattern of each move, which is easy to do once you understand all of these 13 moves, some market moves are clearly better for day trading, and some moves are actually going to be specifically beneficial for swing trading. For those of you that are swing traders, guys, once you see a specific move, you know, hey, here it is. Here's my opportunity to get in and not worry about getting out of that position the next 15 minutes, the next 30 minutes, the next hour. I'm going to hold on to this position over the course of the next few days. And so certain moves clearly identify specifically when such action should be taken. So all you have to do is just trust the numbers, guys. Basically narrow down to pure numerical sequence, which is what makes it so simple to apply to your day trading or swing trading routines. Okay, here's the next thing, guys. This will provide you with a simple roadmap to follow, understanding specifics on how the market will trade throughout the day. Now, that's for those of you guys that are day traders. If you understand specifically what market will do throughout the rest of the day on Monday, throughout the day of Wednesday, of Thursday, if you understand specifically what pattern the market will draw, you will know specifically how to day trade it. Short the tops or buy the dips. Guys, this information is incredibly valuable if you're a day trader. So understand specifics on how the market will trade throughout the day. You will no longer be relying on the news to make your trading decisions. You will be relying on the numbers and the sequence of numbers. It will give you a huge level of certainty and confidence. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, guys. This just, it sounds too easy. What is the catch? What's the catch here? Well, the numerical sequences pointed to high probabilities will not take place each day, guys. And that's just the reality of things. So this will help you avoid trading on days when your probabilities of bidding the markets are low. And remember, going back to the example I was giving, what would you guys do to get the skill that would help you avoid trading those days when some of your biggest losses were taken? Because I promise you, in those days, the market had a substantial advantage of beating you in the game of playing stocks and stock options. So if you understood when those days were, you simply could have avoided trading, and that would have preserved and protected your account for some of the more lucrative opportunities that were literally coming up days. Have you ever been in a situation where you've just been struggling and you keep taking trades and they're just not working out? Guys, understanding the market conditions that lead to such negative outcomes is incredibly important, and the formula is going to allow you to do this. So therefore, you will avoid overtrading. This will protect your capital so you can strike only when the odds are highly in your favor. Some of the questions that you may be thinking of right now. Will I need to purchase any expensive software? And the answer is no. All you need is a blank, simple calendar and a pen. That's all you need. How long would it take to learn the information in the course, guys? The course is 5 hours long. It gives you specific example. It quizzes you on the information that you learn by asking specific questions. And how long would it take to apply the information from the course? Guys, it takes 10 minutes a day. So once you understand the information in this 5-hour course, it will literally take you 10 minutes a day to record which market move actually took place in the sequence and what is the probability of the next numerical sequence coming up on the next day. It's that simple. Now, would I have any support in making sure that I'm using the 13 markets move formula correctly? And the answer is yes. After you take the course and you understand the details in the 13 markets move formula, you can sign up for the 13 markets move monthly service, which will email you daily the market move each day that we're recording at Trading Options Live, and it will actually give you the probability of the sequence of what market move will come up next day. So take advantage of this, guys, because when you sign up initially, you may have some questions, and yes, this would be a huge service to support you in making sure that you're applying the formula correctly and systematically. So what do you need to get started? Guys, there's no prior experience required, but understanding charts, patterns, and divergences would be highly desirable. So simply click the link below where you'll have the options to acquire the 13 markets move formula and the charts and divergences course. Guys, take action now. Make 2019 your best trading year ever. Done.